appreciation, but for me, it was about showing her appreciation on a regular basis. It's not about a day, especially in this advanced age. But let's take a view into what we're actually celebrating. So you got Saint Valentine. So let's go to this History Channel. So I want you to know that this Saint Valentine is depicted as a Caucasian man because that's the only way people will see it in a reverent fashion. I don't care. It's like at the end of the day, it's probably, oh God, this really runs deep. They said, let me look at number two. In all, there are about a dozen Saint Valentines plus a pope. Okay, this probably carries something a little personal for me because I grew up Catholic. Okay, and I've explained this before on the channel. I've explained this numerous times. I mean, maybe not as of late because just people aren't into hearing about where you are. Uh, I don't know. For if that's the channel for it, then that's the channel for it. But here, I don't really push too much about beliefs. But yeah, okay. This is not what I'm looking for. I'm sorry. Just hold up. Just be a little patient with me. But I mean, why is it important anyway? Um, but according to what I read about the immediate facts, he was pretty much a priest that married. This is probably a fable because you just saw that History Channel part, but is kind of like a fable where he was marrying people against the emperor's orders, and he was ordered to be beheaded. So yeah, it's pretty violent. We celebrate some violent shit. And then the day is also commemorated by the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. I'll just read this first paragraph here. It says the St. Valentine's Day Massacre shocked the world on February 14th, 1929, when Chicago's North Side erupted in gang violence. Gang warfare ruled the streets of Chicago during the late 1920s as chief gangster Al Capone sought to consolidate control by eliminating his rivals in the illegal trades of bootlegging, gambling, and prostitution. The rash of gang violence reached its bloody climax. Oh, alright. Let's see. In a garage on the city's north side on February 14th, 1929, when 7 men associated with the Irish gangster George Bugs Moran, one of Capone's longtime enemies, were shot to death by several men dressed as policemen. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, as it was known, remains an unsolved crime and was never officially linked to Capone, but he was generally considered to have been responsible for the murders, which, they knew that motherfucker had something to do with that shit. But, I mean, you're always going to have those people on social media that are going to come to you and say, why do you celebrate these things? I know that, as of late, people have been dropping holidays like this, and as far as if you're in a loving relationship, that's fine, but you have to, as a man, and this is what a lot of these guys talk about in this space, and I guess that this is why they want this kind of mentality pushed out and pushed toward the empowerment and production of men, and I get that, but this is why they this is why they say these things, because I mean, look, you got birthday, you got anniversary, you got You got the day you first met. You got Christmas. It's just all kinds of stuff. I mean, and what these things actually do is it siphons your money to go back into the economy. If you didn't have, if you didn't have these things, and if you didn't have these things, then maybe you could put up a little bit more money and put it towards something else. Maybe be productive for yourself and create a little generational wealth. But they always sucker Americans into shit like this, and it's like, I guess they use things like this to keep the hype going, meaning that all of this is, I would say, by design, because there was a St. Valentine's Day massacre, because there was a legend of a saint that married people against the authorities' orders, that we should, I guess, make it mean something. But anyway, I mean, I promise I'll get a little better with the history lessons. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, SYSBM Messiah's Prophet says it's a pagan holiday. Yeah, I guess all these, if you want to see it like this, is all of these are pagan holidays. I mean, what I've haven't, I guess, in recent years myself, is going around ruining it for the people who do celebrate it. Like people who celebrate Thanksgiving, it's like it really is celebrating death, because what happened before the first Thanksgiving feast was the white man and an Indian tribe got together to slaughter another Indian tribe. And as a celebration, they took the spoils and made this big feast, and they called it Thanksgiving. So, that Charlie Brown cartoon wasn't shit. So there's like this bloody history behind all of it. Orlando's pagan. Oh, stop it! I mean, what other names do you have besides tradition? Well, how do we benefit from celebrating this stuff? It seems to be a siphon in American culture, just like all these other days. Why can't we just truly appreciate each other? Like, I feel like getting my wife flowers and candy on March 15th is just as good as getting it for her today. I mean, but she does appreciate the gesture. And I would say, amongst other things, it's the least I can do. And that's what I've accepted, being in a actual marriage, that sometimes things are necessary. But I'm an older guy, and as you get older, things lose its meaning. People are spending time tonight with their other as a celebration, when on stuff that I can do any day of the week. And that's the reality of it. So let me change this avatar a little bit. Sorry. Change this one. Boom. There we go. But anyway, let me get started on the topic. Just to show you what you're celebrating. You're really celebrating another day in marketing, because I'm just in one part of the country. I hear there's other little sub holidays throughout the country, depending on the tradition or the area of the country that you're from, whether you're from the north or the Midwest or the West. So, all right. So let me get to the actual topic. I asked a question in the title. I said, are the black men basically in this space talking too much about women? A lot of people would say yes. Some people would say no. Ray Alexander, what's going on? Do you believe that there are too many everyday brothers trying to date out of their lane when they attempt to pursue college-educated professional women? I recommend that every man pursue whatever their level of women is. If they can step up higher, then so be it. We what we do is we take brothers out of the equation of that dude has potential to be great, and then one day he becomes great. What we have a tendency to do is we want the brother to have everything in line at the time that he meets her. So I mean, anybody can do anything, but I would say if you have a certain expectation for a woman, you better be able to bring equal or greater to the table. For instance, if you want a woman that's in shape, you might want to be in shape yourself. That's just my belief. Even though I do also believe that something like body positivity isn't for men, so it ain't really, men don't get chosen based on their appearance. We get chosen on what we're able to provide and our ability to protect. So, yeah, there are definitely men who exist just like that. I believe that there are too many everyday brothers trying to date out of their lane. They can do that if they want to, though. I mean, these women out here these women out here are, they're with guys that are below, well, that's their claim, that they're below their level every day. I mean, they say it every day on social media. Shoot, Greg, what's going on? It amazes me how a big deal Valentine's Day is this year. Could it be because winter is coming? I don't know. I've never really pushed the whole winter is coming thing. I hear it a lot. I hear content creators saying it. And some content creators can explain that better than I can. But I really haven't. I'm not real hyped for Valentine's Day. I mean, I never really have. I learned my Valentine's Day lessons early on because a lot of Valentine's Day gestures, depending on the way guys do it, it's kind of viewed as like low key simping. And I mean, if you like a woman, you ought to not give a fuck. But here's my recommendation. Look. If she cool, is she a partner? If there's some kind of agreement to exchange, then yeah, get her something for Valentine's Day. I mean, do what you want to do, but I don't recommend it unless there's some type of relationship involved. If it's your girl, yeah, it's okay to get her something. You know the level of appreciation that your lady shows you, and if she doesn't show you any kind of appreciation for anything that you do, then maybe she's just not your woman. Maybe you don't know if she's your woman or not. So, Orlando's, you can't tell someone who they can or can't date. That sounds weird. Yeah, it does. And I hope I didn't give off that impression. I mean, any guy can date any woman of any level. All I'm saying is, if you have a certain expectation for a woman, you have to bring, equal or better to the table as a man. That's our expectation. But they fuck broke dudes every day. Channel moderator bot. Black men have the universal reputation for dating far below their value. When I hear black men asking whether or not black men's standards are too high, I generally question the IQ of the speaker. Yeah. Faulkner has this thing. He said, "We're the garbage men. We accept anything." We have a reputation for dating overweight white women. Even though that's a stereotype and that may not necessarily be true, I don't see, at least in the area that I live in, I don't see a bunch of black men, white women couples. I just don't. And let alone big white women with black men. I don't see that very often, if at all. And I'm not lying to you. So, I mean, we have a reputation though. But what I do see is couples that are, they're black couples, and not every one of the women look like Instagram models. So, Yeah, it is what it is. So, I mean, black men have really not shown enough of a standard to the females, and that's why the space is such a shock to these people. That's why you have these constant broadcasts that you see of men asking this whole black manosphere narrative that all we do is talk about women, because all of this is becoming a shock to everyone. It's a shock. You know, for a long, you got to understand, for a long time, black women weren't hearing this. They weren't. They weren't hearing it at all. They were men that were too afraid to. Namely our fathers. Am I saying something about maybe, the people in my life? Probably, because things like that have to be pointed out. We come from a generation of men that was just like basically head down, hand over the check. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing for all, it's your business what you want to do with your old lady. Just like it's your business as women what you want to do with your man. But, a lot of black men come from that. So they have this so a lot of them birth sons that have this mentality that really just, hand it over to the woman. I'll give you an example of a man that does that. Steve Harvey, just hand it over. I'm not recommending that any man does this. This is why there are spaces like this, because mentalities out here like that exist. And we're shamed into accepting anything. So, well, we know what it's like. We know what the scrutiny is like. No one's being easy on us, and it's this mentality and this narrative that's pushed that somehow everything is easy on black men. Like, are you serious? Any of those women out there that complain about black men having it easy, I want them to try being a black man for a day with their attitude. With their stank attitude, because they want to be men anyway. Try it. Put on those shoes. Walk out there. Be a black man. Let's just say there was some magic elf out there that just snaps his finger and you're a male for a day. But carry on with your attitude, carry on with your entitlement, and see how far it gets you. Won't be a good day for you at all. And, make sure that magical elf make you into a buff black dude so you'll get the full experience. I don't think any of you want that shit. I mean, some of you might be having style remarks. I don't want to be a dusty. But what I'm saying is, if you do really think, I mean, for people who think that low of black men, why is it that you think we got it so easy? I don't know. It's a confusing dynamic. But, I'm not going to sit here and explain it all day. But, I got an entire broadcast, so I can pretty much talk about what the fuck I want to talk about. Shoot, but hopefully it keeps you guys engaged. That's what's important. Orlando's at Ray Alexander, the black community, we bang whoever. I'm afraid so. And all these guys out here you call Pookie, you think they're out here just banging dimes? Nope. The fat chicks get it too. And that's of any race. If they can slip a couple of Asians in there, yeah, that too. I'm serious. I've seen it all unfold. I mean, it's just that this is a straight, when it's a straight black man's world, we do have certain understandings that certain guys are gonna go out there and just smash whatever. Go, Professor. What's going on? He said, "What's happening, family? Peace to you, brother, and to the chat. Go, Professor. Check it. check out his morning show, Gold Professor. I mean, if you want to go ahead and drop a link to your channel, yeah, that is okay as well. If you are a moderator and you are a content creator, with this channel, go ahead and drop your link. Plug your channel up. I don't care. That's the whole point of this space thing. We help each other out, supposedly, when there's not the existence of the HNIC complex. But anyway, culture shock. Culture shock. A group of black men telling everyone the truth about everything. And there's some women that have joined in. You got to be careful with the pick me spear, as a lot of people say. There's the truly sincere, and you have to have a trained eye and a trained ear for that one. I believe that I'm in possession of both. But there's the people who are true to it, the women that are true to it. Then there's the pygmies, the ones that do it for profit. And if they're making a profit, hey, you know what? You have to put yourself in the process of knocking the people who do that. And that should not happen. That's not cool. Create value for yourselves, people, and that includes me too. Oh, this is a new channel. Oh, you must be on the backup channel. The other one, the BMBBH2. Come to my Black Men Being Brutally Honest channel. Let me see real quick. But, as far as my honest opinion, and I think I've been pretty consistent with it. I don't care how much people feel that the guys talk about the women too much. And yes, at times it does happen. I face that as a reality. It happens, yeah. It was we get a little bit too much into the whole gender conversation. And we are, let me see, yeah, Gold Professor, you're on the backup channel, because I don't see you on the main channel. So yeah, I do have a backup channel. It's called BMBBH2 and Kev We Trust. I don't know, I'm thinking about changing that name, shortening it a little bit, or giving it something else a little bit more personal. But yeah, here's the thing, and here's what I say about a lot of the anti-black man channels. So if I get tired of repetition with the anti-black man channels, then repetition over here is bad too. And it's bad for technical reasons, not because these dudes talk about women too much or anything like that. Repetition shows a lack of creativity. If you truly have nothing else to talk about, just say that's what your channel is. I'm here to solve the problem with the black woman, but you have to think about the messenger on things like that as well. If you're not a great messenger for it, I don't suggest that be your lane. But here's the thing: freedom of speech. You can talk about what you want to talk about on this platform. If you want to spend every broadcast talking about black women, then that's your prerogative. That's a word I learned in 1987. Thank you, Bobby Brown. But they're the anti-black man channel. There's always some twist and there's always some spin, and they have the freedom of speech to do that shit. They do. It's just what it is. But this space supposedly is supposed to be about moving forward and having progression. And I do understand the gripes of people who have been here longer than me, and even been here for what, 6 months, shorter than me, because everybody word counts. I made pretty clear what my position is. Everybody is quiet or no one will be quiet. And that's not going to happen, not on YouTube. I believe you need this kind of thing. And there's so many things that I see that just is so contradictory to what everyone talks about. And it be the same people. Some people talk a certain way in one space and they act a way in another space. Lotus Scaffer. The truth is, black women want Keisha. That's why the space is so focused on them. All right. The space is so focused on Keisha. Okay. Do you think that we should be focused on Diana instead? I mean, shit. Like, look, men, look, heterosexual men are going to have feelings on women. If we focus on the skills and the information channels, you'll be watching people like Alonzo Hall, the All-Star Advisor. So, are you interested in who that is and what he does? He's an insurance salesman, and he's a financial advisor. So go ahead and check that guy out. See, I just recommended you a channel that was in the space that gives good information. So go to that channel and holler at him, especially when he's having a live broadcast where he's trying to teach you something. So I'll promote channels like that. But I really am tired of the whole notion that you guys don't like to be entertained, y'all. And here's the thing for all of you guys that say that kind of shit. Every time there is a prominent female content creator in this space, y'all are in those chats. You are making comments. You are offering support to their algorithm. You say that the Black Manosphere is focused on Keisha, but you're over there in those chats, yucking it up. Every one of you guys, and don't say you don't fucking do it, because I see you guys. I don't be on the breakdown. Yes, you do. I don't be on Jessica X. I don't watch Jessica X like that, but shit, you look in on that chat anytime. You see anybody that's in the, and I don't blame anyone for watching anyone. I'm not going to be that guy. But it's like, you guys, y'all pick on the 2 or 3 guys that are over here in this space that talk about women a lot. And then when the female content creators pop up, all y'all in those chats. Every one of y'all. Every one of y'all. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying the hypocrisy is fucking unreal. It's unreal. Shit. I'm a believer that you have to earn your audiences. And stop playing hard. They earned you. They all did. They earned you. They were having potent enough messages for you to be there. But you fucking complain about men saying what the fuck men say. And that just doesn't sound right at all. It's like, I would say 10% to 90%. As much as you hear guys, content creators, talk about women the way they do, there's an overwhelming amount of other shit going on. So y'all must be really crushing on these guys for real. I'm just saying that from that aspect. Now, I just said a few minutes ago that, yeah, there are guys around here in this space that talk about women too much. But your favorite content creators do it too. and don't pull that shit on me, because, that's me saying black men do it too, and I'm a black man, so fuck all that. Shoot, I mean, I'm telling y'all the truth. See, I mean, you look, do what you want to do. That's what I'm saying. But don't play like is like these guys are always like. What are you looking for from the guys you don't like? Education. You should be educating us. I'm not defending them. They can defend themselves. But I'm just trying to bring a little common sense to it. Yes, there are guys that talk about women too much. Yes, we should be focused on moving forward in black male empowerment. But we complain about this space in particular being about black female empowerment or female empowerment. And you guys go and empower the females. Not all of you. Not all. But it is what it is. Or maybe that's the point you guys are trying to make, how gynocentric everything is around here. Or gynocratic, as you say. Hmm. I get it. But make those broadcasts. Make the commitment to make the broadcast you want to see. And just do that. I'm not here to say, hey, you know what, beat your chest. Prove that you ain't here to just talk about women. I'm good. I'm good on that. I don't have to make broadcasts every time talking about women. I don't have to have every talking point centered around females. But this is exactly what you guys are doing. This is everything. You think about it. Every broadcast that's made like that. Every broadcast is made like that, complaining about what the guys are doing. Is centered around females. You know, it's just that's just what makes sense to me. Now let's talk about the other side of it. The way we talk about the females. I would rather you guys speak in caution. I can't tell you what to speak on exactly, but speak in caution. Let guys who use cautionary tales. Teach the younger generation something. Like go after your money. And I know I sound like everybody else when I say that, but teach these guys to go after their money. But if they ask you about women, which is almost everyone, then give them the advice. Don't beat around the bush. Lotus Scalper. Most black men in this space aren't upset at black love. They are upset at their position in it. They want to be the black men that Keisha chooses. All right. Most black men in this space aren't upset at black love. They are at their position. They are upset at their position in it. They want to be black men that Keisha chooses. Okay, let me answer a question that I asked myself a long time ago. If these guys had stable women who were cooperative, how many would actually be in this space saying what they say? If you really think about that, there's your answer. If there are guys that's doing other things, then, there are plenty of guys in the space like that. If they're doing other things than you would say talking about black love, then have you noticed? For anyone who has who has been your favorite content creator? Who are you guys' favorite content creators? And I'm asking this question, and look, I'm not gonna say anything negative about who you may drop. Because it's your freedom to do so. And why are they your favorite content creators? Do they discuss business? Do they discuss how we attain political power? Or have they given you advice on how to make more money? Have they discussed your peace of mind? I don't know, man. Just if you okay, I'll give it to you. If you believe that this space is about just getting women, it's just getting Keisha to choose you and shaming Keisha to choose you, I really believe that it's a very ignorant viewpoint. There are men that are in this space that are literally giving you case studies on the shit that you bullshit on with the women, and you won't listen to those guys because you're saying that well, at the end of the day, Keisha just want them. They just want no. Wait a minute. They just want Keisha to want them. Whatever. However, the whole thing is confusion. I don't know if y'all know up from down. Seriously. Or, maybe we could just get with the program and just, put on a performance. So, we can, get people, to generate more interest, because it's like I told you guys before, you have to be somewhat entertaining, and just admit this is what entertains you guys. Here you go again. Shame and blame Keisha. At least you're giving me your point of view, Lotus Capper, and I appreciate that. It's like shame and blame Keisha, and the choosing them is basically what this space does. Shame and blame Keisha. Okay, who does that? Okay, I'll give you a challenge, Lotus Capper. Who does that? And you can't say Edward Anderson. And how is this shaming going on? Are they saying that you got? Are these guys telling the truth, or are they lying? That's the next question you need to ask yourself. Are they telling the truth, or are they lying? And like I said, and you're skipping over this, all the guys that say this shit, be on the female channels. I've seen it. I've had enough of it. I'm gonna be done calling it out. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it's hypocritical. Why do y'all come over here to the guys saying all that fuck shit? But okay. Just let people have it, and you know what? Support, like I said, support the content creators. Support the content creators that are actually about a message, and drown the bullshitters out. You have that option, and it does seem that there is an effort to do that. But what you did, and what all of you did, was you picked a target that was too fucking big, and you're taking it out on the smaller guys. That motherfucker is in the stratosphere. Okay, go reach for that shit. That guy's in the stratosphere. And it seemed like you're blaming the smaller content creators for all of that. That's not us at this point. We didn't decide this. And I believe I know why. I know the real reason why, but I'm not going to say it here. That's kind of sort of some behind the scenes stuff. But it's stupid nonetheless. It's all stupid. Why are you so mad at us for him? Why are y'all so mad at us for him? Be mad at him. Shit, there are people that are going to agree with his ideology because it's resonated. Shit, we all have ideologies here. I'm not saying that people are jealous or anything like that. I'm just saying it's pretty stupid to take it out on the guy that is not him. It's stupid. But we don't, we always hear this thing. When you start involving race and color, you always hear this thing that we always say, we don't treat each other good. Black people don't treat each other good. But this is it right here. Some guy tells the truth on a broadcast, and it somehow involves a female. What are we exactly, what do you think these guys are saying? Are they saying stuff like, why don't you stop being a 304? Just stop being a 304. Come with me. Join with me hand in hand. I can save you. Is that what these guys are saying? Is that what these guys are saying? Is that what these guys are saying? All of this shit. They're trying to hold the hand of the female and bring her along, even though she's been destructive, she's been troublesome, she's been snappy, she doesn't respect them. That's what we're doing. We're telling females like that to come hold us hand in hand. And let's get through this storm. Let me save you. The content creators that you don't like, that you say focus on women so goddamn much, is that what those content creators are doing? Lotus Scalper, that's basically what they're saying. And what? Let me see. I said name the guy that does that, and you can't pick Edward Anderson. Because, you know, the reason why I say that, because Edward Anderson has been here a couple times recently. And Edward, you know, Edward is Edward when he's here. But you know, that's what they do. If you're talking about panelists and not content creators, then you need to clarify that. Cause see, we need to a lot of what people are here, and a lot of what this is about is improving our communication skills. What I do understand is, as a man, I can approach another male and disagree with the guy, and he become extremely spastic. Okay, and I understand it depends on how I disagree. But when a guy is insulting people, how do you approach that? You saying you guys say you don't want us focused on women, so why don't we focus on the problems that exist between the guys? Okay, we can't, well, like, what do I do when I come up here if I can't focus on that? Because you're reactive toward when you try to approach the guys and ask them what the problem is, and you're reactive when we communicate with females, which I don't get that at all. The way I was raised, you're supposed to be able to talk to a female. What am I supposed to do when I come up here? Talk about myself for 2 hours? People get tired of that shit quick. Tell me what a skill is. And, you know, I understand there are channels that are offering skill lessons and skill classes. So, you can promote those guys. Promote the guys' channel that you like that don't focus on this. Period. We don't ever have any answers for that. We never have any answers for that shit. Tell me who your favorite content creators are that are men in the space or on the outskirts of the space that are black men that are teaching you skills, teaching you lessons, teaching you productive shit. Greg, what's going on? He said they be on women's channels so they can sneaky slide into black women's DMs. I think so too. They just don't want to admit it. Because every guy that complains about this be on the female channels. The guys that say that, hey, for those of you who are just joining, the guys that say that this space complains about women too much. And I'm not trying to shame them for being on those channels. What I've been saying is it comes from a hypocritical position. You're saying that there are certain guys in this space that are focused too much on women. That's stupid to say when everybody be on everybody's channel. That's what I'm saying at the end of the day. And people don't want people that push back and disagree with them for shit. And yes, I will say that's how people in this space are. And I'm talking about chats. I'm talking about panelists. Because I hear the goofy shit that a lot of these guys say. Seriously. And you guys make it to where you can't push back. So I'll be one of the only channels that is in this space that panelists can come up and actually push back. And I promise you it won't start a beef. As long as you're not disrespectful. As long as you're able to come up to this panel or come up to this platform and act like a mature adult. I will never have anything against you. But can you get that done everywhere you go? How do most of those guys act that complain about this? When you push back against what they say, how do they act? I'm focused on guys right now. How do they act? They get the cussing. It's getting to the point where it's arguing with a female. Because females are very reactive like that, very emotional like that. Start going into insults. The first comment. I was like, what the problem in the space? I have a tendency to disagree. Fuck you N-word, you naker, and it just goes there immediately. But, nobody wants to talk about this shit. Everybody just wants to stay on their little echo chamber and say what the fuck they want to say. And let me clarify it again. Constructive criticism. Anyone or anything is subject to it. Criticism. Even criticism without constructive on it. Even criticism. Anything is subject to criticism. People who use StreamYards, because they use StreamYards, is subject to criticism. But when it starts going into that line of insults, goalpost moves, things you can't prove, then the criticism part is gone. And you can push back on that immediately. But I'm starting to understand why the old folks say that some of this stuff just ain't worth it. Sometimes it's just not worth it. You try to approach someone, you try to have a mature exchange, and it's impossible because they have their minds made up already. You ain't shit, you ain't gonna be shit, that's it. The one thing that I do hate about our people, when I say our people, the melanated, the black, the part that none of us can get away from because we see it every day, we're dressed up in it. And you do have those people that try to bleach their skin and shit, but they still can't get away from it at the end of the day. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about my people. I hate the fact that we don't forgive each other after shit that is very much repairable. Like points of view. Now, I mean, if a point of view is not bringing physical harm to anyone, like if I didn't order an execution or push some kind of genocidal tactic, then that's repairable. But we don't forgive each other for anything. If you're a black man, you better not screw up. You only get one chance. If you're a black woman, they'll say all day that they only get one chance, and that's bullshit. You got WS Society on your side. And I'm not saying that's one of the many reasons why black men, we need to get our shit together, get out of this HNIC complex, get out of these little dumb narratives that y'all try to push about the space, even though that there are some guys that are kind of weird. But the whole just be like, there are a couple of content creators now that do say names. They do say names, they do say who they have a problem with. But you have to also be able to name the content creators that you feel are productive and give a good representation. And then that will allow those people to go check those content creators out and see what their rhetoric is all about. You know what I find whenever I investigate these kinds of things? That everyone talks about basically the same fucking things. They have their own little spins and their little twists. I think that, I believe that a lot of you guys are just more entertained by some guys than the others. You like the way that the same thing is said, but the style that other guys use it. You just keep saying Keisha. Who is the Keisha in control of, Lotus Scalper? Who is? You're allowed to say it. I'll give my honest opinion on that guy. How's the Keisha in control, man? This is what we need to get out of. Stop giving power to hoes. One guy said hoes are winning and puts up a pretty good case, and you bring that mentality here. I don't believe they're winning. Not here. I mean, they may be winning like okay, if somebody grandma can put up a TikTok video and dance a little bit, and then niggas be in the I'm sorry. If dudes be in the DMs like trying to tip her after 6 hours, tip her cash app, yeah, that's winning. I get that. And then he goes on to say they already dug too deep in their trench to have an honest discussion. Well, look, what do the men generally pay attention to? What do the men? If there are more men watching women channels in the space than the men, then how are you complaining about I mean, we gonna go in circles with this shit. It's just what it is. Jerome D. 304s are not winning, but too many dudes worship the box. Yep. Too many dudes worship the box. Yeah, there's always a simp. There's always a simp. There's always a simp. When a group of guys decide, hey, I ain't finna do nothing for you no more, and then walk away, there's always gonna be that one guy that's gonna look at that ass and say, wow. And go in head first anyway. There's always gonna be that kind of guy, but it's like, that shit is more widespread than you guys believe. I just can't get anybody to, and I really do, and anybody in the space can explain it. Is that how do you not see what you're doing after all of the things that you say about guys paying attention to women in the space or making their issue the center, making women the center of the world in the space? Because you guys do it. Everyone does it. We just need to live and let live. But I can't tell you what to do. I just want you guys to admit it. Everybody that, including myself, I have the luxury of saying, hey, you know what? Sister George is a habitual line stepper. And she has, 2 major channels now, not one. So I'm going to be in those chats looking out. Shit. Because that's just who I am. I'll do that for any of the habitual line stepper channels. So I'll support that. But I'm not going to sit here and complain about women are too much centered in this space when it comes to discussions, because it's either the discussion about women or the discussion about dudes talking about women. So in essence, yeah, because of that reaction itself, the reaction that people aren't willing to admit to, yeah, dudes talk about women too much because it affects y'all like that. Dudes talk about women too much in the space, yeah. Of course it does. Because, see, in a lot more ways than one, we don't know how to react to it. We weren't trained to. We don't know how to. So it's like, is it best for the discussion that all of the discussion about women slow down? Sure. I would actually agree with that. But not for a good reason. Not for a good reason. There's a couple reasons why. Number one, we're too sensitive. We're so desensitized to knocking brothers and shitting on brothers that it doesn't even matter. And there's a lot of people that are not willing to admit that. We're so used to shitting on brothers, it's commonplace. Period. And I believe in being gentlemanlike and and being protective of the ones that I love. And not wanting to see harm come to those people who just happen to be female that I closely care about. But I can't put on a cape for everyone. So, all I can tell you is if you catch yourself in a situation where you're by yourself, just be careful out there. Carry a gun if you got to. Yeah, but like shit, we don't have that luxury. They want to negotiate with Keisha. He keeps saying Keisha. I don't want to negotiate with him, but I'm tired of dudes being hypocrites. Let's tell the truth. A lot of the guys, yeah, that are local to this space, that are within the space, that some even considered black manosphere, are being hypocrites, and it ain't gonna be the usuals, the ones that you guys like to pick at. But we don't like to have conversations where there's this kind of pushback. So I'm just gonna keep dealing with it, and I'm gonna keep talking about it until we admit to the bullshit, and that's just what it is. So in essence, every one of you guys want to negotiate with Keisha. Jersey Hammer depends on the content creator. I know my personal perspective is I don't care who they choose. Just be accountable for their decisions and not shit on the ones they don't choose. Well, don't choose them. Shit. And yeah, it does depend on the content creator. Every content creator ain't sitting up there making everything about women all day, every day. If you want to know what conversations are more popular, just look at the numbers in the space and look at the title of the broadcast and what the subject matter is in that broadcast and compile your own data. Content creators leave their broadcast up all the time. This is why channels like Expose the Manosphere look like propaganda instead of some actual compilation of channels that are actually within the space, and you can compile enough data. Okay, look at this title, look at that title, look at that title, and don't cherry pick. Go to some of the content creators that be doing the complaining as well, and look at their title and their title and their title, and see what their content is about. Shit. Now, if you want to start on black male empowerment, we're going to have some common sense. All right, Jersey Hammer, offering clarity. I am not talking about choosing them. I am talking about them using the all black men ain't shit line when it is the black men they choose. Yep. Yeah. A lot of these little troublesome situations, man, they choose because, here's what I don't get. You keep saying these guys are upset because they're not getting any pussy, because they got rejected in high school. So who's getting you pregnant? Who are you actually fucking with since you don't fuck with these guys? In turn, ruining the reputation of black men across the board. Hmm? Yeah, I mean, when you're in control, when you have the power and you have the control of the narrative, yeah, you are going to swing it one way. But let me ask y'all like this: what does it look like when the black man is in control of the narrative when it's given to them by a more powerful media source? Now we have these little channels, but let's face it, we don't have the power to reach the actual media. The one guy that did went kind of mainstream. and with mainstream, you is a different set of rules. You can't cut loose like you used to. So this is why people rather stay down here. But let's be honest. Lotus Scalper. Here's what I'll say, man. Nothing is above contradiction, but not even the black manosphere. Not contradiction. Nothing is above criticism. Nothing. Not even the black manosphere. He said Manosphere Exposed pointed out the contradictions or twisted the narrative quite a bit. Twisted the narrative quite a bit. Said what did we say? We misrepresented stats. Okay, so let me tell you something, and this is a problem that I believe that many of you have. If Obsidian says something, it doesn't represent what Kev says. Oh, black men being brutally honest. If Ramil says something, it doesn't represent what the Roger report says. Okay, so that's the kind of bullshit that we need to stop doing. That's really a tactic that we learn from the white people, from WS. It's like stop trying to the black manosphere, just like any black male space, is a collection of ideas. You can't make me sign up with another content creator. It's just like that's crazy for you to go to another content creator and make them sign up with me. This is where the argument is so shitty. Said that one guy that did sold out into Steve Harvey. Okay, I don't see that. Steve Harvey tell you that you have to shut up when having a back and forth with your wife. That's Steve Harvey. Just shut up. There's nothing you can do. There's no way to fix it. Just shut up. You mean that's Steve Harvey? Steve Harvey is Steve Harvey. See? There it is again. Boxing black men into the same fucking box. Trying to box the space into, if one guy says it, or if they're a senior, is what you consider a senior member of the space, then that means all the guys represented. You got to start treating these guys like individuals, and stop expecting every content creator or everybody in the chat that you approach just to be against that guy. If you have the balls, you can stand on your own 2 feet. Period. That's for every man listening. Jerome D says Steve Harvey is a gynocrat. KS is nowhere near that. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard KS say shut up. There's no way you can. There's no way you can fix it. Just shut up. Telling a man to shut up, that he has to be the one to shut up. That's the problem in the first place. Years and years of saying that shit. We've tried it all these other ways. We've tried it that way for years and years and years. Well, hey, you know what? All we do is complain about women. That's all we do. That's all we do in here. We're trying to negotiate with the enemy. We're not making plays for power. Power, what? Do y'all even know what power is? I don't think a lot of you, I think you just throw out these buzzwords. I don't think you know what the fuck you're talking about. I mean, letting people know about the world and how it goes on and what goes on around you, like, the government putting up a $30 million grant to give people clean not recreational, illegal drug use kits. People should be smart enough, and we should be. And this is what I was trying to say last night when I say black people aren't stupid. People should be smart enough that people come to these broadcasts. Really, the person who watches, the people who participate in the chats, people should already understand that these people come to these broadcasts because they choose to, because of the content. That these are mostly people who already have their shit together, and that don't need to be told shit, that don't need to be talked down to. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna talk down to an audience or a content creator that's making this shit work. Jersey Hammer, I think the overall big Let me put that up there. I think the overall the big problem I have is people make these different arguments to put themselves or others into of their liking into the HNIC position. Yeah, one thing that I will definitely agree with Edward. Shout out to Edward Anderson. One thing I definitely agree with him on is just that these are the people that your favorite content creator don't like. They don't like if you want to make a full blown argument against a certain content creator and all they talk about, just like I said, say these names. I've been saying this shit for the longest. I've been saying this shit for the longest. Say these names. Tell me who's problematic. Your favorite content creator doesn't like these guys, and it's like, and I do admit there have been some bigger names in the space that have said that this space is problematic, and then these people, and then people like a couple of people in the that one, well, I ain't gonna say it, Lotus Scalper is gonna repeat that logic instead of actually giving me an actual precise argument on why this is, who is doing that. I asked you, who is doing this, and you can't say Edward Anderson. Because people like to pick on Edward. Art New Style TV, he doesn't do that. This man be damn literally creating art while he's doing a broadcast. Is he focused on Keisha? I mean, subscribe to Art New Style TV. Ooh, shoot, a lot of these dudes here have common sense discussions. They already come here with a skill set. I mean, how old are you guys? 21, 22? Are you still in college? Are you looking for a mentor? Did you come here looking for a mentor? You come here to insult black men. Go to this gynocratic way of thinking. They're like, okay, we just can't just talk. Hey, buddy, how you doing? What it is? You having a good week? How's the job? How's the family? Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's another argument in this space, family. Are we here for power and growth, or are we here to negotiate with Keisha? Are you here for power and growth? Or are you here to negotiate with Keisha? Other question. Those kinds of questions start with you. I'm glad you're asking all these questions. This is for everybody who has those questions. That starts with you. And my answer is always to that. Go to the content creators that are productive, that you feel are productive, that give you really good information. Watch them. And if you have anything to offer the chat your opinion, well, not your opinion, but your input as well. Input is just a better way of putting it. There's always something else behind those kinds of discussions. It's never what people really say. It's never what people really say it is. Y'all talk too much about bitches. Okay, all right. Who infamously says, what group of people infamously says that already? And let me give you a clue. Not black men. So, are you parroting this other group of people that are not black men that always say that black men don't do nothing but talk about black women? Or here's a word that I think you're really careful about using this word. Black men who bash black women, that don't do nothing but bash black women, which is bash is a buzzword. Who says that all the time? And why are dudes in the space repeating it? And it's like this. Okay, if you wanted me to answer those two questions, are we here for power and growth, or are we here to negotiate with Keisha? Okay, how many black women have ever come through this channel? Okay, I can name them for you. I had Celebrity D up here a couple weeks ago, and we were basically talking about the whole pick me mammy thing, and how she has a really like big following on Facebook and how she's attacked regularly by women because she's a black woman that holds black women accountable. Um, I wasn't on here saying that, hey, you need to hold those you need to hold them bitches accountable. Good for you, girl. You need to keep doing it. She's already made the decision to do that. I wasn't trying to negotiate anything with her. Hell, I'm a married man. She's a married woman. What the hell else we got to talk about besides that situation? Just to make a point that all we do is say, hey, you know what? Black men need to stay out of black women's business. But black women need to be the one to talk to black women. And then I put up an example of when one does that, she is constantly attacked by her group. Period. So, okay, you can't be talking about her. I had Sister George up here one time. Now, a lot of people got a lot of things to say about Sister George, but she's blazing a trail through this space. Sorry. And she has, and I'm going to have to say this, a lot of the guys to thank for it. A lot of the guys that sit up there and say, hey, you know what, females should be in the space. And who is Sister George trying to negotiate with? She's married as well. And her name is not Keisha. And she's a habitual line stepper. See, we already knew her from another platform, so it was no problem. I mean, we didn't beg her in. We didn't say, Sister George, we need a female. Oh, my God. We need to bring a female into the space. Sister George was already here. Jesus. So, I know it ain't her. I had Toya the Tutor up here. Shout out to Toya the Tutor. She credits me for bringing her to the space. So, I'll take full accountability for that since she keeps saying it. And it's cool. It's cool because of her presence on my channel one night, she's inspired to make a difference for the betterment of black people as well. And Toya the Tutor is pretty damn cool, so I know y'all not talking about her. Shit. What's another female that's come up here? Otherwise, it's just guys. Just black men being brutally honest that I allow to come up here and speak their piece, even if I disagree with it. And it doesn't start beefs. So why? So I'm here to I'm here to let black men know that it's okay for us to assert ourselves. Negotiating whatever. I don't negotiate respect. You can walk you can walk against traffic in the direction of traffic for all I care. If you don't respect me, you just don't respect me. Period. But you can steer clear of me. It can be one of those fuck you type situations. I ain't gotta negotiate that. Shit. Y'all act like I'm trying to say, hey, oh my God, please come to the table. Please come to the table, goddamn. Like, y'all tripping. Y'all niggas tripping. Jerome, one live stream with the Keisha on the panel doesn't dictate what the entire space is about at Lotus Scalper. Correct. And then when the girls, what's funny for you guys listening, including Bruce Leroy Smith, shout out. You know what's funny? When a girl comes up there to a panel and acts retarded on a content creator within the space that they don't like, she could be saying all kinds of flagrant shit. He a bitch. He's gay. He's a ugly. Say all kinds of stuff. You guys treat it like shit. The woman has said the most masterful shit on the planet. She just dissected the man. You in your femininity. You emotional. You need to shut the hell up. You ain't no man. Say all that stuff and dudes act like that shit's constructive. I'm listening. What's going on? Bruce Leroy Smith. Oh, Donnie, what's going on? YS4W. Long live the habitual line steppers. Bruce Leroy Smith. I think dudes is trying to shame content creators for talking about women just as much as they think the content creators like to talk about women. Every one of these motherfuckers complaining about this shit are actually talking about women. Every one of them. Like I said, if you were to say that, if you were to give an actual quantifiable answer on do we talk about women too much in this space, the answer is a resounding yes. The answer is a resounding yes. because these bitches are the center of you guys' world. This is why you're motivated to celebrate things like Valentine's Day. The bitches. This is why you desire to be the HNIC. This is why you go around them. If you really were about women not being in this space, would you go around them? No, you niggas is lying. So, all right, we've been over an hour. So guys, what do you think? Shoot your thoughts in the chat real quick. You know, we'll make this a little bit more interactive. Answer the question that is posed in the title of this topic. Do we talk about women too much in this space? Yes or no? I mean, I'm not gonna drill you on, why you said yes or why you said no. I can tell by the way you guys comment where your positions are anyway. I'm not against the growth of this space, but shit. It's so much infighting, it's to the point. Donnie said too often women are brought up. Yeah. Said too often women are brought up. And I will say that, yeah, when I do admit with certain panels when we're trying to have a discussion about something that may not be even related to women, maybe it's about people in general or maybe it's about men, there's always a tie-in that whips the conversation into the usual shit. And that does, like I said, repetition is tiresome. It shows a lack of creativity. Yeah, that's what I'm on, man. It's like it's you have to. I guess you have to be creative with it. You have to attack it from a systemic point. You can't always be like, oh, they just fucking pookie. Jerome D. Nothing's wrong with talking about women as long as for the purpose of education about their nature and behavior. And what does help is evidence and source material. We have to understand that there's a lot of people that don't care about evidence and source material, though. Goes on to say nothing's wrong with talking to women as long as they have some sense. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if I brought up a woman right now to like just to talk one on one, and she just does nothing but curse and disrespect me, and I'm sitting up here, I'm just like trying to calm her down or whatever, it'll ruin the show completely. And the thing that I could do to solve that problem immediately, or to even keep it from happening, is to drop her from the panel in the first sign of trouble. That is easy as that. But for me to sit up there and shout and go back and forth and be like, bitch, fuck you, that's unproductive. That's a very horrible look, especially for the guy that I presented, for the past few weeks. No, actually for the past couple years. YS4W, Donnie. Some niggas can't have content or weigh in on a subject if it ain't about bitches ain't shitism combo. True. True. If you're saying it from a cautionary aspect, if you're just bringing up the conversation out of if you're saying it from a cautionary aspect, if you're saying it to teach a lesson to the next man, say, hey, you know what? Don't be this idiot right here. You know, as a teaching moment, as a teachable moment, then that's when it's okay. I mean, you can even use news stories to do it, like local news stories in different parts of the country. You could use those news stories to teach those lessons. Now you see what the situation is here. You know, don't get yourself in that situation if you're not already in that situation, or at least read the signs, see the signs. Don't ignore the obvious signs. But when you just bring it up out of nowhere, they might be an issue. Bruce Leroy Smith, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the free game. I know how to take what's useful and leave what's not. Yeah. By me saying that black people aren't stupid, I'm saying that because I know that a lot of us have the sense enough to, to know the difference. And also that you take in stuff you really want to take in. I don't know. It just some things that you just can't bullshit. Yeah, I am indiscriminate though. I am indiscriminate. If there is a like I will say this about me. I know that a lot of people may not agree with it, but I'm not you. Shit, just like you're not me. If there's a female that is willing to have a level-headed conversation, like the one I had with Celebrity, with Sister George, with Toya the Tutor, or when Mahogany came up here the couple times, Mahogany, the Roots, and MJ, I'm willing to have a conversation with them. It's not like anything is on the negotiating table. I'm not giving them instructions or orders to go do something. It's just a back and forth exchange that is useful to the conversation at the time. It's not about negotiating. It's not about a gender war, being at war with another gender. What the fuck is that? The gender war. Ain't no shots being fired. And as far as I'm concerned, like, if it's on a psychological plane, yeah, the females might be winning. Like I said, would a lot of these guys be talking this red pill stuff if they had like a beautiful woman in front of them this night on Valentine's Day or Valentine's night? Shoot. Anyway, speaking of which, look, guys. I'm gonna always admit to what it really is. Even though that there are a ton of guys that are used to the bitches ain't shit conversation. Unless, hey, Donnie, you still there? If you want to come up, I'll let you come up and I'll ride this out a little bit more. Let me do this. If not, shoot. Shoot, but yeah. But outside of that, I think that's all I need to say about that. This is all I really need to say. Um, I will always believe that the conversation is way more dynamic. I think we're just triggered by the things that we don't like. But as far as I would say this, men are allowed to attempt to outline the standard for men. Men should be able to speak to each other. That's all I'm saying. So, Yeah. And them bitches ain't shit. I mean, I'm sorry they ain't, man. I'm saying the shit, the logic that they choose, man. I mean, you be amazed at some. Like, I think we stopped being amazed. I think that's why we're here. We're just kind of here to say, hey, goddamn, what the fuck is going on? Hybrids, catastrophic impact, X83rd power. What's going on? Yeah, we're just having another broadcast about the mentality of our people. That's what I try to tackle here, the mentality. The sheer mentality and how it doesn't make sense. Like, I get it. There are some people that can't do without the bitches ain't shit mentality, but it's like there's a bunch of hypocrisy on the part of the people who frequent the chats, the people who encompass the space itself. You know, they're like like it seems like we're trying to negotiate with the females, and then they support the females more than anyone. And I'm not knocking the hustle of the females. I mean, like the Players Club, usually they got to get what they want. Shit, I'm happy for them, especially when you have one that's on crew. That's a pretty strong personality, basically a star. And it's just the way it's because that she has a flair for it, and on top of that, the way society dictates things happen around here. As a man, you can have so many guys talking the same thing, but only one or two or three is going to be able to rise above, or four or five. That depends. Like, I would like for it to be an arena of people. There is plenty of people who offer very useful information in this space. Shoot, I just think that, I don't know. I just believe that it's just we just have this too much of this Highlander complex, this HNIC complex. We want our idea to be better than the next man's idea. I don't know if I feel that way. If you're just willing to have a conversation, shit, I'm here. I mean, shit, like, I'm opening it up to different opinions, even with the platforms that I don't agree with. A lot of people can't talk to people they don't agree with. It just descends into chaos. I'm one of those guys that's gonna set out to prove that I can at least be the one that is having some common sense in the conversation. But of course, I will not let anyone run me over either. Brothers need to learn how to work with each other, definitely. Brothers do need to learn how to work with each other. But there are brothers that work with each other. It's just that, here's the thing with black men. We have been so forced into the HNIC complex that it has also forced us into a state of independence as well. Which means that if any group of people knows how to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, it's black men. Because we don't have the luxury or benefit of freebies like everyone else. The only case where a man is allotted freebies if he's leeching off of a woman, or he still stays with his parents, or something like that. Outside of that, men have no luxuries that are just at our disposal. Black men especially. I mean, a lot of these chads and brads, they're trust fund babies. Now, I'm not saying that they don't work hard as well. It's just that it's a lesser of a chance that a trust fund baby looks like you or me. So we have to bust our ass and continue to prove ourselves to everyone. And it's okay. A lot of that has been to our greater benefit and to our tenacity as black men. So that's kind of like the glass half full. That's kind of like the whole HNIC. There can be only one. That's how it can kind of benefit because it makes us all stronger and on a more individual level. You know that forces us to take a look at ourselves and see how we can outdo ourselves. It's like because your main competition is always going to be yourself as a man, as a black man. Your biggest pitfall, your biggest hindrance is always going to be yourself at the end of the day. It's not going to be a woman. I mean, if it is a woman, it's a situation that you allowed some kind of way. I mean, unless it's some heinous shit like some broad coming out of nowhere and lying on you, like in it, like say for instance in a professional setting, like when you're innocent. Outside of that, all the other situations, you kind of led yourself into it. So let me offer a better context. The only way that is like a woman would affect you, but it not be your fault is a false accusation. That's the context that needs to be present. A false accusation. With all the information at our fingertips, you should be able to avoid all the other problems. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power says a lot of us walk around with a chip on our shoulders. We have the most pressure. It's like we fighting each other on a ship that's sinking. Yeah, instead of working together and patching up the holes so all of us can make it. Great analogy. I used to walk around with a chip on my shoulder. It wasn't really for a good reason. It really wasn't. Now that I think about it, but we don't think about a lot of things when we're young. Or I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, but shit. What's wrong with telling brothers not to make that mistake? Hmm. So alrighty then. Let me see. I'm seeing that no one's coming up here. Let's see if we can make it to an hour and 45 minutes. Let me see if I can bore you guys a little bit longer. That was sarcasm. But you guys, definitely thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate all of you. You know. But anyway, I do believe that black men should be able to discuss what we want to discuss. I'm an advocate for that. Just be responsible for what you say and make sure you don't say no weird, crazy stuff that might be repeated, somewhere down the line or be revealed or, in an effort to expose you down the line. Because, we've had a couple of content creators. I would say one in particular that was on a massive roll. And then he let another content creator expose him using opposite rhetoric. And now he doesn't have near that momentum that he had before because that's what his crowd of trauma bonders depended on. He wasn't about what he said he was for real. He was using it as a selling point. And you know what? He was a black man. I don't I do believe in black men making their money, but not at the price of your soul. And he got exposed. So, being a black man is so much pressure. Yeah, it is. You're not cutting any breaks. I'm not, but, we also, in saying that, know that we have to be the black men strong enough to get through that shit. Bruce Leroy, the audience is a big part of why the BS takes over into space. I'm new enough myself, but I think a lot of newcomers cause a lot of drama because they don't have an understanding of what the space is. That's one of the things that's never taken into consideration. That's one of them. That's one of the things that's never taken into consideration. That. There's just a lot of new people here. There's a lot of new blood. Discussions that were brought up years ago are being brought up again because everything repeats itself. The reason why a lot of these discussions were brought up that you guys seemingly already said you handled is because whatever you tried before didn't work. I mean, you may try to push it on or put it on a content creator. But hey, these things keep coming up. You need to take a closer examination as to why. The audience is a big part. Yeah, the audience is a big part. The audience is what the audience chooses to participate in, and this is what I've been trying to say from the start. You know, hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. There are literally pitfalls put in place to deter black men from succeeding. Starts as early as elementary school. I salute brothers despite the pitfalls, continue to push forward. Pitfalls. Yeah, those pitfalls. Yeah. And we do, there is a need to commend the brothers that do push forward because there are many brothers that are not strong enough to push forward and they crack and they give up, and those are the brothers that end up in prison because they make poor decisions or end up being losers because they decide not to be productive in any way. So, you know, so yeah, it is worth commending the brothers that push through despite all the bullshit and the stress. But here's my deal. I wouldn't trade that shit for anything in this world. I really love being a black man. At the end of the day, it's a lot of bullshit that comes with it, especially being in America. You know what I'm saying? And seeing how America views us. I don't give a fuck about the world. I mean, America. I'll put it to you like this: it's Black America. How Black America views the black man. And the whole slap in the face is the fact that it was handed to us by someone else. How we view ourselves was handed to us by someone else. Well, let me roll back. I should not have called it a fact. Unless I had. I mean, but there's evidence all around us. So take it how you want. All right. All right. Thanks to everyone that attended this broadcast. Really appreciate you guys. Yeah, go ahead and hook up with that loved one, or just sip on that drink or whatever, and sit back and enjoy what is left of this 2022 V Day. Let's read this comment. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. Example being most children are diagnosed with ADHD are black boys, and most of those black boys don't have fathers. Then they give them dangerous drugs like Adderall and Ritalin. Cat Williams on one of his specials would say how his son used to run around and he's just turned up and he just runs around all day. And he took his child to the doctor thinking that something was wrong with his kid. So they gave him Ritalin. And when he took his Ritalin, he was running around, and all of a sudden he just stopped and dropped, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna run around. I'm just gonna sit here. I forgot the exact wording of the joke, but he just said he just after he saw that, he just went ahead and let his kid be his kid and didn't give him the medication anymore because that indicated to him that was something very wrong with giving your kids drug after your kid was just being your kid. Now I mean, shoot, I have a very active, happy child. When she happy, she happy. She be all over the place. Shoot, I can't imagine that being any other way. I mean, because she's a very smart kid, doing excellent in school. So, shoot, it's like these parents, these dumb parents, jumped the gun. Well, these dumb single mothers, you say they're without fathers, they jumped the gun and let damn the system drug them up. Then all of a sudden, years and years later, you got some kid or some mother's son calling them from a damn jail because they're in trouble because they shot somebody. I mean, you see that on the first 48 all the time. Does the first 48 still come on? Or did they cancel it? Boys are supposed to be energetic. Exactly. Yeah, of course. Shit, I remember being a little boy just running around all day. You know, getting into shit, getting, uh, being injured, scrapes and scrapes and cuts galore. Just being a kid, just running around all day, doing stupid shit on my bicycle. Yeah. Yeah, kids. I will say kids are supposed to be energetic. Kids are supposed to be energetic because I have an energetic daughter. So yeah, that's another crazy thing said in this space, and I tried to get an answer to this last night. Like this whole dads with daughters thing. You know, why do people believe that dads with daughters don't belong in the space? I've heard a couple of content creators, you know, and a couple of people in chats. You know, I'm trying not to pay attention to people in chats anymore because that the difference between the content creator and the people in the chat is the chat represents a diverse array of opinions. Yeah. Oh, but anyway, let's listen up, guys. Got to finish up another way. So, listen up. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, if at all possible. And just leave some comments, and hopefully you guys, press like by now. If you haven't, go ahead and please press like. Check out something real quick, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Call it a night. Yeah, and all you guys for the rest of the week, just have a good one. Hopefully, it's productive and successful. If you're working at a job that makes lateral moves, hopefully you guys get that promotion or a raise. Yeah, I'm talking to everyone that tunes in, even the women that tunes in to the channel. Go ahead and do what you need to do, and to get further ahead. I'm at 31 likes. So yeah, and they're at 100%. No one has pressed dislike. So I guess once again, everyone who watched believe that I'm a cool guy. Shoot. But anyway, I'm done. So enjoy the rest of your week. Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. Till the next time.